no introduction at all. You already know who she is, and that's why you're in this room. So I'm only going to say that she has been personally responsible for some of the most beautiful magic in my life and in the life of many others. So I present to you not just the Queen of Psychedelics, but the Queen of Magic, Amanda Feilding.
Beckley Foundation, I started with the first intention was how to do a study investigating the hypothesis I held, which was underlying the changes in consciousness. How does one most likely manage to convince the world of the potential benefits of psychedelics? How do I change drug policy and do the science? I started the Beckley with no money, just on the kitchen table. Very soon, near the beginning, wonderful Vivi came and she became my helper. It was just on the kitchen table. I was planning seminars at the House of Lords, which were very, very influential, and that went very, very well. I had the idea of we should start a scale of harm and benefit of psychedelics compared with other drugs. That was the first time it became public knowledge. In my youth, I was delighted to be part of the Aquarian age. I loved its freedom and sense of adventure. Now I feel we're entering the dawn of the psychedelic age, an age integrating science and mysticism. Through the advancements of science and brain imaging technologies, we can now explore the mechanisms underlying consciousness better than ever before. I believe that the psychedelics, through the serotonin 2A receptor, increase the energy supply to the brain, expanding connectivity, neuroplasticity, and neurogenesis. More of the brain is simultaneously functioning. The dried up husk of the adult consciousness is suddenly flooded with new light. The right hemisphere is back in the dance. With the new knowledge of how to control the level of consciousness, the mind can fly higher whilst maintaining the range of concentration in order to direct its flight. In my mind, the state of human consciousness is pivotal to our health, happiness, and survival.
Amanda, we're here in Jamaica, celebrating your 80th circuit. You've been a great pioneer in the movement.
I had been in the psychedelic sphere since 1965. And then in 1966, I met Bart Hughes, who was, for me, a great teacher of the neuroscience. There was such adventure and discovery in the air.
I wanted to study comparative religion. I'd won a science prize at school and wanted to get books on Buddhism, which I was very attracted to.
And then when that crashing gate, the prison gate, came down on behavior, it was really a tragedy.
America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive.
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
The only way to overcome the taboo is by clever use of science to demonstrate what we know from experience.
And I feel that the work that you're doing is really some of the most important in the world, because you're trying to show people through undeniable scientific methodology that these substances have incredibly real benefits.
We're treating multiple mood disorders, addictions, mental health issues. We have evidence of neurogenesis, regenerating neurons.
I think we're living in an exciting time. The study of psychedelics has taken root. It is now more generally acknowledged that these prohibited compounds may, in fact, offer a new approach to treating the epidemic of mental illness.
Since I talked about how we've been such allies on both the drug policy reform and also, psychedelic research,
I would now like briefly to outline 3 of the key studies in my new program of work entitled the Double-Headed Research Program. I've always thought and felt that LSD is the purest of the compounds. Recently I had this wonderful experience with a 97-year-old lady who, when her son went away for a week or so, she went into a deep meditative state. And when he got back, she didn't recognize him. Adoring his mother as he did, and having discussed it with her before, he gave her a microdose of LSD. And that, in an amazing, rapid transformation, brought her sense of self back. What's happening is it's sparking the connectivity between the different areas of the brain which have got separated. This spark is enough to reignite the connectivity. A second study which I'm carrying out, the hypothesis that a key mechanism underlying the effects of psychedelics is to increase the volume of blood in the capillaries of the brain, thereby supplying it with more energy. This study will be looking at the effect of LSD on the serotonin 2A receptor and how it affects the tone of the walls of the microvasculature. We will also be using the newly developed MRI 7 Tesla. We will look deeper than ever before into the underlying changes which occur in the mystical experience. Those subjects who have a mystical experience are the ones who benefit most from the psychedelic-assisted therapy. Unproductive patterns of behavior can dissolve and be replaced by fresh, more positive beliefs and patterns.
And that's why I think the psychedelic research has been so suppressed for a long time, that if you start getting evidence that in certain contexts it's helping people, that causes people to start changing their minds.
Yes.
And then it gives courage to some of the key opinion leaders, and then drug policy reform will follow after that.
Well, Amanda, we've shared this very special moment in time and space together. You are a kindred spirit from a long lineage of ancestors, and you represent them so well. And I want to thank you. I think all of us, thanks you for your courage, your kindness, your wisdom. You're being so ahead of everyone else, and you've really helped blaze the trail. So you have our collective deep gratitude.
If we succeed in delivering this new psychedelic age, then hopefully the union of science and spirituality might finally come to fruition. No longer a war, but a marriage of two spheres which were never meant to be separate. Thank you.